Coming up this week on the GCN Racing News Show, we have the Women's Tour Down Under, a big upset at the Australian National Time Trial Championships, the People's Choice Classic Criterium, the Cyclocross National Championships from across Europe, and a look at the 2019 Paris-Nice route, which was announced last week. First up, the road season kicked off proper last week with a strong international field lining up for the Women's Santos Tour Down Under. The 4-day event kicked off with a sprint finish on day one, a sprint won by Letizia Paternoster, giving the Trek Segafredo women's team their first victory in their first professional race. Doesn't get much better than that. The 19-year-old from Italy is a 5-time world champion on the boards, and she put her speed to good use in outkicking Sarah Roy to the finish line. The GC, though, was pretty much sealed already on day two. Winner of this race of the past 2 years, Spratt, put in a dominant display up Mengler Hill, making it look easy as she took the stage win by 39 seconds over her Mitchelton Scott teammate Lucy Kennedy, and enjoying an even greater advantage overall, courtesy of the 10 seconds bonus that she picked up on the line. Another tough stage on day three saw another win for Mitchelton Scott, this time with Grace Brown, who attacked inside the closing kilometre with nobody able to follow her. Spratt, though, in finishing 5th on that stage, basically sealed the deal there and then on her 3rd straight Tour Down Under victory, with only a circuit race remaining the following day in Adelaide. There, Chloe Hosking of Ali Cipollini won the stage ahead of Paternoster, and it was an all-Australian podium overall in the GC, with Kennedy preserving her 2nd place and Rachel Nayland riding for the national team finishing in 3rd. The Men's Tour Down Under will start tomorrow, which is Tuesday, but we've already had the traditional warm-up race, the People's Choice Classic Criterium. Caleb Ewan getting his season and his time with Lotto Soudal off to the best possible start, out-sprinting Peter Sagan to the line. Unfortunately, a late crash took Elia Viviani out of the running, but no doubt we'll see the three of them battle it out on a stage or two of the main race coming up this week. Incidentally, we've got live coverage of the Tour Down Under available to most of Europe, plus worldwide highlights post-race, so keep your eye on our Facebook page for all of that. Sure to be an exciting race this year, with the likes of Richie Porte, Mike Woods, Wout Poels, Diego Ulissi, Michael Velgren and George Bennett all taking part, plus defending champion Daryl Impey riding for Mitchelton Scott. Now, another man to potentially watch out for within that same team is Luke Durbo Durbridge, who managed to get the better of world time trial champion Rowan Dennis at the Australian Time Trial Champs early last week. Durbridge started his career out as a very accomplished time trialist, but has since developed into a very strong all-round rider and classic specialist. Now, it's been some time since he's got the better of Dennis in a time trial. In fact, it's been 6 years and 13 time trials to be exact, according to our favourite cycling statistician Killian Kelly. Now, Dennis's comments after the race were quite interesting because he seemed pretty happy with the numbers that he produced on the day and basically said that he needed to figure out why he didn't go faster for those watts. The insinuation there being that it's something else that slowed him down since he's changed from BMC to Bahrain Merida. What could that be exactly? Well, Ollie got in touch with his friend and aerodynamics guru Dan Bigham to get his opinion. Dan firstly said that we should take nothing away from Durbridge himself, who put out a brilliant ride on the day, but that he suspects the biggest differences between Dennis's 2018 and 2019 setups are not his frame set, but instead his helmet, skin suit and tyres. It really is amazing just how much difference equipment is making these days, particularly in time trials, although Bigham was confident that with a few refinements, Dennis will be going just as fast as he was for the same power last year. Meanwhile, there was a break in international cyclocross over the weekend as most of the European nations held their respective national championships. Business as usual. It's a phrase I've used far too much this season, somewhat understandably when it comes to Mathieu van der Poel. He took his 5th national Dutch cyclocross title on Sunday in Hooibergen, 44 seconds to the good of Lars van der Haar. Lucinda Brand came out on top in a fiercely competitive women's race in the Netherlands, ultimately coming home 10 seconds in front of Marianne Vos. Over in Belgium, it was also business as usual for Sanne Cant, who took her 10th elite title in a row. That's only been done once before in Belgium, and that was by Ronan Liberton, who took 10 consecutive men's titles back in the 80s. Causing an upset, though, was Toon Aerts. He denied the world champion Wout van Aert his 4th title, and by some margin in the end. Aerts had to close an early gap created by van Aert in the tricky conditions, but would not only catch his rival, but go on to win by over a minute. It was also the 10th elite title for Christine Macherus over in Luxembourg, the 5th title for Caroline Manny in France, whilst in the UK, Nikki Bramier of Marita took her 4th. Ride of the day there, though, arguably, was from Anna Kay. Just 19 years of age, Kay was giving Bramier a run for her money until an untimely mechanical some way from the pits. She would hang on for 2nd after a tussle with Helen Wyman, but it would have been really interesting to see what she was capable of without having that issue. No such problems though for Tom Pidcock of TP Racing, who led home an all under 23 elite podium in typically flamboyant style.
I mean, you were super quick, but you had 223 guys behind you as well. What does that say for the future of cyclocross?
Well, it shows that the depth of British cyclocross and the level is also increasing massively. It shows that the future's pretty bright for British cyclocross and hopefully in the continent as well.
Back onto the road now, and ASO have recently revealed the route for this year's Paris-Nice. The 77th edition of the Race to the Sun follows a familiar format this year. The first 3 stages look set for the sprinters, although you never can count out crosswinds or atrocious weather. Stage 4 is where the climbing starts, but the first big GC shake-up will likely happen on the 25-kilometre individual time trial, which comes on stage 5. The final 2 stages, though, are where the major climbs are found. Stage 7 features a summit finish on the Col de Turini, a 15k climb that averages over 7%. It's never been used in Paris-Nice before, that has featured 3 times previously at the Tour de France. And then the final day, as ever, will be a typically hilly affair starting and finishing in Nice. Now last year, this same stage was the decisive one, Simon Yates ultimately losing out by just a couple of seconds to Movistar's Marc Soler. The 8-day race will start on March the 10th. Okay, that's all for this week's show. As a reminder, we've got the worldwide highlights of the Tour Down Under on our Facebook page this week, as well as live coverage to most of Europe, so make sure you check that out. And also, make sure you check back in tomorrow for the GCN show, which is our hot or not episode. All of the 2019 World Tour kits rated or berated by 2 middle-aged men with no sense of fashion. It's an absolute must-watch, and I will see you then. Before that though, do you train your lunch hour, or do you just eat your lunch? We put a few different methods to the test in a video that you can find just down here.